jostling to get back into the sixth. The two teams just a point apart, but a win tonight will go a long way to making the final run of games just a little more comfortable. As for Brisbane, they arrive off the back of a big defeat at the hands of Sydney FC last week, and after 2 losses on the bounce, they'll be desperate to turn that form around at home this evening. It's quite the opposite story for Adelaide United on the other hand. They've found 4 wins in their last 5 games. Tonight, looking to make it 3 in a row. Well, let's have a look at the ladder and just how tight it continues to be in the Ninja A-League. Melbourne City still topping the charts, but it's the top 8 who are coming into the home stretch. A win for Adelaide tonight brings them back up to the pointy end. Brisbane desperately need those 3 points and a couple of goals to help on goal difference to get them back into the mix-up. Plenty to play for this evening. It's a warm evening up in Brisbane, Spencer Park, where the Raw girls have played a series of their recent home games, 27 degrees. So pretty tough conditions. There's some happy mascots to walk out with some fan favourites. The 2 changes tonight for Alex Smith's side. Kira Myers is back into the starting 11, shuffling Kaya Stevenson to the bench. Ashlyn Miller also back in for a start with Ava Piazza making way. Positive news on the Pine this evening as Zara Kruger is back in the squad, returning after a long layoff with an ankle injury. 21-year-old Chloe Lincoln is the latest to be called back up to the Matildas squad ahead of the Women's Asian Cup. An unfortunate concussion to Tegan Micah sees Lincoln return to the mix. Really important game for her tonight. Really great opportunity back with the national team in a little under a week's time. I'm sure she'll travel off shortly after this game with Brisbane Roar. One change for the Reds tonight as Adriana Taranto is back in the 11. Izzy Hodgson dropping out of the matchday squad altogether. And a big return to the bench this evening as Lara Gooch recovers from an injury as well. Joining her on the Pine tonight is Paige Zoyce in an otherwise fairly steady looking side for Adelaide United. Matilda by name, but Matilda by nature, McNamara had a solid showing in Adelaide's last game a couple of weeks ago, almost getting on the score sheet herself, but she'll have her hands full this evening with what has proven to be a pretty dynamic Brisbane attack. Big night for the Caps Matilda. Coach Alex Smith, excitement and togetherness, the words imparted from the boss across the week. He spoke about the opportunity to bounce back from the 4-0 loss delivered by Sydney FC. He said the team owes it to the fans to make up for that performance. Referee tonight is Sophie Allam, taking charge at the centre of the pitch. And at the other end of the coach's dugout, in amongst the huddle there, with his back to us, is Theo Siunis. Adelaide coach said throughout the week that the key battles will come down to discipline, winning key moments and executing under pressure. An important result for a team that has been in really good form in recent weeks. They've had the week off last week, so coming in from a bit of a break, an opportunity rather to refresh and go again, searching for that 3rd consecutive win. All smiles from Sarah Morgan. Last moments getting things underway at Spencer Park. Last game of the round of 18 in the Ninja A-League before we take a little break in the Ninja A-League. The international window, of course, will be filled by the Women's Asian Cup. So a really important result tonight for both teams before a little hiatus from Ninja A-League football. 13th of March is when things get back underway in the Ninja A-League Former Dolan medalist Fiona Wirtz looking to have a busy night tonight. There's a kickoff at Spencer Park, Brisbane Roar and Adelaide United. Former Matilda and someone who wore the Roar jersey a few times joins me in commentary today. Ish, great to see you, and a big 90 minutes ahead of us this afternoon.
Yeah, huge 90 minutes, Grace, particularly before a 2-week break for the Women's Asian Cup. This game is everything on the line, trying to get 3 points to prepare yourself for what is the back end of the season and where all the pressure comes.
Speaking of back end of the season, it is well and truly getting to those areas. Brisbane, after tonight, just have 4 games remaining. Adelaide United a game in hand, which is working in their favour. They've got the 5 after this one. But it's snuck up on us, as it tends to do.
Yeah, it certainly has, but it's also really good to see so much congestion in the table. So every game is a big game to play for. We've had some big results in the FC last week against Brisbane Roar, and interesting to see how fresh Adelaide United will be. I know the Roar have had quite a heavy schedule of games in like close proximity. So, but when you know you've got a 2-week break, you're ready to crack on and give it all you've got.
Plenty of rest to follow after this as both teams just look to settle, get their foot on the ball, and it's Brisbane who are trying to do so, interrupted by Erin Healy. Of course, the home side coming in and the back of a couple of losses. Alex Smith particularly made the point of the team owing it to the fans and supporters to turn around tonight's result. 4-0 loss at the hands of Sydney FC. The week prior to that, 5-2 loss to City. So they've shipped a few goals in their last couple of encounters. Adelaide, on the other hand, in a really good vein of form. Bente Janssen has been prolific for Brisbane, but Tilda McNamara looks to interrupt and send things back from where they came.
Yeah, it's been difficult for the Roar, hasn't it? And Alex Smith, Sian Fryer out with injury, Grace Kualamu, Leah Varley going overseas. There's been some big changes, and I think the difference with Adelaide is they've had quite a consistent starting 11. A few little tweaks here and there, but when you have that consistent 11 or 12 players who are playing week in, week out together, you get that cohesiveness and a bit of momentum, and they've had a really good season.
Sarah Morgan to face forward. Stretches the field wide, and perhaps a little too wide on that occasion. Adelaide may be flying under the radar somewhat this season. They haven't been scoring in free-flowing football, but they've done enough to secure some results. Now some defending as Bente Janssen can stream through. The little reverse pass slowed down, not for a second time, and a shot is lashed just a little wide.
Really positive transition play. Bente Janssen has been a really great signing. Daisy Brown as well has come into some great form. Nice and positive from Daisy Brown. Had a little look at where the keeper was. Much of a striker's instinct, didn't quite catch it, but really positive start to the game.
First season for Daisy Brown in the A-League. Just her 12th appearance today.
She definitely doesn't look out of place, does she? She's looked confident, has really tried to take her chances, you know, also taking opportunities when they present themselves rather than maybe trying to offload the ball, as with that one. That's a real striker's instinct. Maybe you don't catch it right all the time, but you're in the 18-yard box. Why not have a crack and test the keeper?
She was on the ball again. Angie Beard just returning to the league, her second appearance. Kira Myers runs into an offside position. Flag up on the far side of the pitch. Helen Tonkin, 23-year-old, leading the team for Adelaide. The captain's armband hers and has been for some time. Chance for Emily Condon to stream forward. Nice little pick up from Fiona Wirtz. Good touches, but swarmed quickly by Brisbane. Pass from Hayashi left a little short. Well, give and go at the moment. Tisha Woods looks to stride away. Mel Taranto working hard to slow her down, does so, but not without conceding the foul.
Great work from Tish Woods there, just getting her body between the ball and Taranto, arm up, just really trying to protect the play and drawing the foul. to ease a bit of pressure in transition.
The first 5 minutes has been played in a bit of a flurry. High pressure, we're seeing the teams close down quickly. Chance for Brisbane to sweep in a rangy free kick. Couple of options over the ball. That delivery left a little short. Awkward touch from Medwin. Studer looks to stretch the field to Hayashi. Back inside. And the idea of a give and go is there, not quite executed. Back with Seidel. Now Beard. Looks to thread the needle, doesn't quite get the measure right. Andrew Beard back in the Ninja A-League. What is her 94th appearance, but just her second of this stint. Of course, her first last week back with the Raw, having debuted back in 2014 as a 17-year-old. And Angie Beard too, as we know, representing now the Philippines women's national team, having pulled on the green and gold on 3 occasions.
And a great signing for Alex Smith. She was out of contract, looking to just train and stay fit, and he snapped up the chance to get her back in the A-League and to help her preparation for the Asian Cup, but also as a replacement for Leah Varley, who's been such a solid presence at the back for the Raw.
She's on the ball, pass blocked by Taranto. Does well to keep it in. Fancy footwork from Kira Meyer. She's hurried along by her opposite number 15 in Adriana Taranto. Here's Beard. Got a touch from the coach, Alex Smith. Appreciated by the crowd at Spencer Park.
Yeah, class is permanent. Obviously a professional player in his own right.
Myers. Side to Woods. Back to Studer and all the way to Lincoln. Hayashi turns out, needs a bit more support, searches down the line instead, up over the top to Daisy Brown. Again, it's the offside flag raised for the second time this afternoon.
Yeah, it's a frustrating call for that offside because Daisy Brown, the ball's bouncing, it seems quite firm, it's moving very quickly, the ball's moving quickly. Trying to maintain, you're trying to always be outside and in line of the defender, out of their line of sight. Really important, keep that pressure on as it goes behind the Adelaide United defence and them facing their own goal so you can press from the front. So just wants to keep an eye, maybe give herself half a yard more.
Here she is hurrying Ella Tonkin along to Luna Melee, 17-year-old who's made the spot in goal her own. Medwin. Miller. Combination searching, but that pass over the line. Still with Brisbane. Medwin takes a quick throw. Tish Woods pokes it forward, but McNamara is on site. It's Medwin. Just running into a little traffic down in this bottom corner. Hodgins throw for Adelaide. Tonkin happy to use the goalkeeper again. Luna Melee, who is playing in her 9th appearance for the season, but just her 10th across all A-League competition. Had one last season and has really held on to the spot over Claudia Jenkins this campaign.
Yeah, she's looked confident, assured in goal. Alona Melee you know, even there, like bringing the ball outside the 18-yard box, that confidence to actually be the additional outfield player as well for Adelaide to start building up their attack. Okay, distribution wasn't quite right in that instance where it went out, but that's like really good indication of how confident she is playing with the ball at her feet.
Chance for Healy streaming forward. Has the raw defence to beat. Flight of foot, and Healy across the face of goal, and that's as easy as they come. Really nice finish for Adelaide United. The first goal important in this evening's fixture. And the Reds make no mistake. Adelaide take the lead.
Well, that was quality play by Erin Healy. We always know how positive she is. She's running with the ball at her feet, jinks inside, outside, and then just cuts that ball across goal. Credit to Emily Hodgson, who, coming from a deep-lying position, made her way into the centre of the 6-yard box to put pressure on the raw defence and see that into the back of the net.
Second goal of the campaign for Emily Hodgson. Not the most regular goal scorer in the A-League. But a good attacking run, as you say, Ish, from deep to be the option. It's a great start for Adelaide. They want to continue this 2-game unbeaten streak, and in their last 5, as I mentioned, 4 wins, 1 loss. And the first goal really important tonight for Adelaide. They've not lost when scoring first. 5 of their previous games, they've gone ahead, held on to all 5 results.
And that has a huge indicator as well of like their confidence and how they understand how to manage games. Once they get themselves in front, beautiful run by Erin Healy. We know her quality. We know what she can do. Just jinking inside and out. Studer really struggled to stay with her. But then to have the composure, because sometimes you probably see someone have a shot. She was in a good position to potentially have her own shot on goal. But to cut that ball across, and again, credit to Emily Hodgson, who has come from such a deep position and just legged it all the way in, really took a risk there and was rewarded for it.
Really instrumental for Adelaide. Works very hard. USA born, but represents the Republic of Ireland. Made a debut for Ireland last year, in 2025. Here's Hodgson now the goal scorer. Has 2 to beat, slows things down, happy to peel back out. Now Healy, that combination working well. Hodgson has a little look back inside, a bit of a scuffed cross, but it's nervy moments at the near post. Taranto wasn't tracked.
Tell you what, this Adelaide team, they look sharp. They look sharp in these early exchanges. You can tell they've had a little bit of a breather. Emily Hodgson, good awareness. I love that from Taranto. I love when players really commit to getting in front of the goalkeeper at that near post, trying to make something happen. It's so difficult to defend, and some really positive signs from Adelaide early on.
Here's Hodgson again. A bundle of energy she's started this game with. The Brisbane Raw defensive shape is just looking a little lost at the moment. Maybe they can forge forward, mount an attacking move of their own. Help down the line. Adelaide happy to stray well out of her 18-yard box. Hayashi hadn't given up the chase. It's not the first time the teams have faced one another this season. Earlier back in the campaign, round 6, Brisbane with the edge that day. A brace from Bente Janssen and Grace Quilamu contributed as well. Erin Healy did find a goal that day, but in the end, Brisbane just a little too strong. It's been a different second third of the season for the Raw. You mentioned a couple of injuries. Yallop, Fryer, Quilamu, Kruger has been out for several weeks up until today.
Yeah, and Alex Smith and the team and the players that have stepped in have done an extraordinary job to be in the position that they are, because there's a lot of disruption in there, and you lose a lot of experience, you lose a lot of quality with the players like Tamiki Yallop and Sian Fryer.
Seidel just a little heavy-handed through the back of Erin Healy. Free kick going the way of the visiting team. Right in front of the Reds bench as well.
This is a really good position. Taranto can just whip that ball in between the 18-yard box line where Chloe Lincoln is. That corridor of uncertainty that we talk about. It's a really good angle. There's a big space where she can put that ball in.
Taranto, what kind of delivery can she find? Plonks it into a dangerous area. Off the head of Ella Tonkin, up and over. Not too troubling in the end.
No, probably just a little bit too much height. That's been super critical of Taranto's delivery. Erin Healy obviously has that stature to get that ball, but maybe just a little bit flatter. Whipping it in is easier to then direct the header onto goal as you're running onto it.
Hear the shouts from the sideline. Hold to Daisy Brown.
Yeah, and I think that's exactly what Alex Smith was talking about. If Daisy Brown just held her position there, then Matilda McNamara doesn't break out of that press. You can see his frustration on Alex Smith's face. Yeah, he can do all the work on the training ground, and then you just need the players to implement what you've discussed.
Wirtz looking to bustle her way through. Adelaide in an advanced position in their attacking third, in the driver's seat at the moment. Plenty happening down this left-hand side. Centering pass, whips past Healy. And Myers has picked up a loose ball and is looking to move quickly. Has to slow things down just a little. Counter-attack was on for just half a moment for Brisbane. Didn't have the numbers forward. Hayashi around the corner to Myers.
Probably a couple of opportunities there for Momo Hayashi, actually just to switch the point of attack as they were building up out of that defensive area.
Taranto's header. Tonkin helps on. Woods. Taranto again. Neat touch from Beard. Hayashi and Taranto come into arms in the middle of the park. Really congested area in the midfield at the moment. Brisbane just pull it out through their defensive line. Wirtz, pressure is coming on Lincoln. Off the chest of Brown, but now as quick as you like. Back with Adelaide. Taranto. A little grab, but she's managed to shake that one away. Zoe Toland. Matilda McNamara happy just to slow things down. The build again for Adelaide is Toland. Helps it down the line to Taranto. Inside to Morgan. Almost gets away with the touch, but Brown's managed to pick it up. Outstrides Ashlyn Miller. Her first time delivery is not a bad idea at all. Bente Janssen, the intended target, evades 1-2. Patient play with it. The deflection, well, really big chance for Brisbane. Had to do more with it.
Well, I think Bente Janssen knows that she should have had a shot there. She decided to cut back in on her right foot. The opportunity closed up, and in the end, goes out for a deflected corner. That was a huge opportunity. I thought it was a great ball in from Ashlyn Miller into Janssen. Really should have put that in the back of the net.
Well, you'd want Bente Janssen on the end of a first-time ball like that. She sent both defenders to the canteen. Cut it back on her right, just slowed things down. Brisbane corner. Woods delivery, hangs it up. Hooks it out the back onto the top of the Adelaide net. Not quite having the measure right on that one.
Well, great first-time ball. Bente Janssen, wonderful position, passed it into the corner of the net. Even Melee's positioning was quite central. She could have gone far post, could have gone near post there, and particularly with Bente Janssen's quality, we've seen her quality on the ball, that position, we really should be seeing a goal for Brisbane and then back on level terms.
Not to be, however. Maybe a little too selfless from Bente Janssen. But she'll want that one back. A little nudge, nothing doing, says Sophie Allen, the referee. Her sister to Maddie Allen, who referees as well in the A-Leagues. A little slip on the touch from Zoe Toland, who is feeling that one. Just a little sore, she's clutching at her side.
Yeah, looks like maybe a little knee in the ribs accidentally as she went down by Myers.
So 20 minutes has ticked by in a real flash. Adelaide with the lead thanks to a finish in the 11th minute. Some nice work from Erin Healy to find Emily Hodgson. Today marks the 28th time these two sides have met. Brisbane historically dominating that fixture. 16 wins to the Roar, just 7 to Adelaide. And we've seen a draw on just 4 occasions. So history favours the Roar, but form line favours the Reds. That touch also favouring the Reds. Of course, in their away kit today, Adelaide United. There's Eunice looking on fairly comfortably at the moment. Here's Toland. Her cross, well, Healy almost managed to manufacture a moment.
There was a quality ball in from Toland. Maybe just bounced up a little bit too high for Erin Healy to be able to get her leg up and over it.
Nice little flick on. The header from Daisy Brown. Can find Miller. Has a little look forward. Really good options in the middle. One of those was Janssen arriving. Well, that combination, Miller to Janssen, so far has looked good.
Another quality delivery, but credit to Ella Tonkin for clearing that ball out.
Medwin. Cross in. Millet is up and out before Adelaide's defence deals with it. Still Medwin. Morgan will just relieve the pressure, sending that one back through Brisbane's defence. Siding. Woods will touch a little heavy. Fiona Wirtz can pick that up and pinch it. Here's Healy. Good numbers forward for Adelaide. Brisbane sending bodies behind the ball. So Morgan now. Hodgson, the goal scorer. Morgan will get another go. Healy, little glance up. Now McNamara, happy to slow things down. That's a nice touch through. Anticipated well by Medwin, but still some defending to be done here. Wirtz scraps it at the clearance straight into a herd of players. Hayashi cops the worst of it.
It's a bit of easing of pressure. I really like the change of tempo in Adelaide United's attack and combination play on this left-hand side. It was almost walking pace from Matilda McNamara and Emily Hodgson, and then it was quick 1-2s in behind, little flicks around the corner, really putting the Raw defence under pressure.
A momentary break in play just to check that Momo Hayashi is okay to continue. Ball dropped to the feet of Chloe Lincoln, the only player for Brisbane to have played all minutes of the campaign so far. At the other end of things, Ella Tonkin is the only Adelaide player to have been on the pitch for every single minute for the Reds. Lincoln sends it long. Brown contests, in comes Medwin, good strong challenge. Miller, a little glancing look forward. And Outside to Brown. Tonkin's done well again. Well, grappling, holding, a little too much from Studer.
Yeah, just grabbing a big handful between her shorts and her shirt. Varen Healy, an easy one for the referee to pull up.
So 25 minutes have ticked by. Adelaide, you'd have to say, with the more clear of the chances, and Fiona Wirtz will not give up the chase. Hurry in Brisbane's defence. Brown, well, looks early. If she can squeeze something through, Melee retreating. Had her a little bit panicked.
And again, great awareness and confidence from Daisy Brown. That's when you know that your striker is scanning. Their body position's good. They're always aware of where the opposition goalkeeper is. As that ball was bouncing, she thought, well, may as well try it, with Alona Malay backing off, but just couldn't get it on target.
Daisy Brown, an Australian under-17 representative. Of course, came through the Football Queensland NTC program. Adelaide able just to carve their way through the first line. That one read comfortably. That pass gifts it straight back to Adelaide. Tolland. Tonkin and traversing to McNamara. That pass as well, just blocked too comfortably by Miller. Studer, Medwin, all the way back through Lincoln. Seidel can drive into space. Needs an outlet and finds it in Myers. Nice little give and go from Beard. And Janssen has just drifted into an offside position.
Yeah, she was offside as she was waiting for that little combination play to build up. Obviously, she was facing away from goal, can't see what's happening behind her. Just trying to get that little slide pass into this wide channel here. It was probably 2 yards offside, but it was clever defending as well from Ella Tonkin, just to allow her to go. She could see that she had no idea that where Ella Tonkin was set up behind her.
Nice little glancing header over the top. Fiona Wirtz bears down on goal, a decision to make and a corner to pick straight into the hands of a very grateful Chloe Lincoln.
Wow, what a huge opportunity missed from Fiona Wirtz. I thought this was a definite goal. I would question why she didn't want to touch it onto her right foot, and you know, was trying to place it, and really she looked up at Chloe Lincoln, and it looked like once she had her head back down, probably the picture in her mind was just Chloe Lincoln, and then passed it straight to her. But that's another huge opportunity that's gone begging. Saw the one from Bente Janssen for the Brisbane Roar, and now Fiona Wirtz with the one-on-one. She really should have put Adelaide United 2-0 up.
Tolland can intercept that pass, but a massive, massive moment for Adelaide. An opportunity for Wirtz to double the lead. Last season, 11 goals she found. Now just 2 so far for the campaign. We know her quality. We've seen her at a comfortable best.
And sometimes with strikers, it's almost like they have too much time. So she had time, and then it didn't look like the position of the ball was in the right place for her to strike it properly, and she kind of just scuffed it and it went to Chloe Lincoln. It's almost like when strikers are under pressure, then they do it on instinct. They don't have to think too much about it. But that was a huge opportunity for Fiona Wirtz.
Nonetheless, the Adelaide attack continue to threaten this Brisbane defence. They may come to rue some of those missed chances, however. Morgan tries to slow down Myers. Now Taranto. Condon has been quiet the last couple of minutes. Taranto down the line to her sister. Has time. Mel Taranto. Flag raised on this near side. 3 shots the way of the home team, 4 to Adelaide, but of those on target, Certainly United finding their range.
The quality of the chances has been quite good, isn't it? Like actually quite considered. That ball into Janssen into the far post with her touch, and then even Fiona Wirtz winning the ball back, having that one-on-one with Chloe Lincoln. Both these teams, I think, quite evenly matched. There's some really good passages of play. Both teams trying to build up that nice little combination play in wide areas.
Here's Janssen. Helps it centrally to Brown. If she can get across and wrap her boot around it, doesn't quite have the angles.
And again, Daisy Brown just wanted to take that early. She probably could have taken another touch. I think she may have had a little bit more time than she thought. Benti Janssen just trying to get the bobble out of the ball. Okay, there was pressure from Erin Healy coming from behind, which made Daisy Brown take that shot. But I still love the confidence of her to just have a strike at it, rather than trying to just maintain possession. That's a real striker's instinct. That's a real goal scorer's instinct. Like, right, that's what I want to do.
Daisy Brown has certainly taken some of those moments across the course of the season. Lincoln taking no risks. Three caps for the national team. Chloe Lincoln. This little period before half-time has been one that has not favoured the Brisbane Roar. 9 of the goals of the 29 they've conceded have come in this 15-minute window right before half-time.
That's a really interesting stat. That's definitely down to focus, concentration, game management.
Interestingly, it's their last 15-minute windows of each half where Brisbane are the poorest. If Adelaide can capitalise on their moments.
Yeah, that's a really tough one to coach as well. You can do all the tactics in the world and all the technical practices and implement your game plan, and then if there's a period of time where your team just for whatever reason switches off, starts trying to overcomplicate things, then that's really hard as a coach to try and actually work out in training. That's something that the players have to take individual responsibility for.
A good battle here between Healy and Studer, and in fact Josie Studer has shown her 3rd yellow of the season.
Well, they've been having a little argy-bargy, and again, Studer pulling Erin Healy's jersey. She had a hold of her shorts and her jersey earlier on, so that's absolutely the right decision by Sophie Allen. Too many persistent fouls, too much jersey pulling. That's a good decision.
Gives Adelaide a free kick. And they're attacking half. Oh, heavy through the back. Hodgson tumbles through Miller.
It's pretty straightforward one for Hodgson. Look how high up the pitch she's getting. Good attack-minded defender.
Miller, who returned to the starting side for Brisbane this evening, 22-year-old American. University of Texas, where she spent her college years, and she's been a really useful pickup for Alex Smith this season. Regular contributor to goals and assists. Here's Taranto just settling things for the Adelaide side. They're happy to slow the tempo down. LA with their foot on the ball. And Brisbane not quite in any rush. Maybe until now. LA's clearance flicked through. Again, Lincoln not taking any risks. Stopped by Healy. Now Condon. Nice ball over the top. Hodgson. Such a hard runner. Good numbers in the box. If Hodgson can find a good delivery, just carries it a bit wide and long.
Yeah, more positive play down that left-hand side from Emily Hodgson. Chloe Lincoln had a little bit more time and she had the ball at her feet. Probably could push Brisbane Roar up if she wants to go a bit more direct. And make sure you're allowing your teammates to have numbers around the ball to be able to contest.
That Pass back to Lincoln, had to get him to move quickly. Back with Healy, who will shoot on sight. Oh, that's a top save by Chloe Lincoln. And that's the kind of quality we know Lincoln is capable of. Huge moment.
What a save by Chloe Lincoln. I've been a bit critical of her distribution, which led to this chance in the first place. Some turn by Erin Healy. Head down, didn't even have a look at goal. Strike with her left foot. And Chloe Lincoln with a goal-saving save. I mean, that was epic from Lincoln.
Surely a confidence-instilling save for the goalkeeper. Now with some more work to do. Morgan to take the corner for Adelaide. Off the left boot, the in-swinger. Lofted up and in. Chloe Lincoln has ended up outside of her goal, leading to another Adelaide corner. Well, it wasn't quite convincingly met by Brisbane's defenders.
Well, it's always difficult. There's so many players in that 6-yard box, in and around, crowding. It's not a huge run-up for them, for the delivery coming in from Condon.
Condon this time. Again, the in-swinger. And it's bouncing in a very dangerous area. The shot is not clean, and it's almost steered back in by Studer. In the end, fumbles out harmlessly for a Brisbane goal kick.
Well, Chloe Lincoln just missed that as Condon gets the ball in. It's a very busy 6-yard box, not cleared correctly, and just McNamara just not able to get her foot through it properly.
Adelaide have been pretty good from corners across the course of the season. They'd like to be a bit better than those last couple of chances. Brisbane looking to find a bit of possession, hand it back to Adelaide just as quick as from where it came. Hodgson. Morgan, nice touch from Healy, can drive into space, has Wirtz and Taranto. If she can find him across comes Lincoln. The pass in the end, easily read.
Well, great play from Erin Healy. She was just trying to tuck that in. Fiona Wirtz had a bit of space actually towards that near post, but just a slight misjudgment of the angle. Chloe Lincoln was able to pick it up.
Well, Brisbane on that occasion, their own worst enemy. A wayward pass. And again, as Adelaide are able to continue with their ascendancy. Just a bit more desperation from Adelaide at the moment. Condon has a little think about it over the top. In no rush, Chloe Lincoln. Maybe a chance for Brisbane. Taranto again, who is here, there and everywhere for Adelaide this afternoon. Still warm conditions at Spencer Park. Stray ball picked up by Myers. Nice use of shift of weight. Miller, if she can get there. Offside flag up again.
It's a pretty tight call for Ashlyn Miller on that right-hand side, but it was a lovely ball slipped into her. Tish Woods, lovely weighted pass. I think Matilda McNamara may have been keeping her on side. So I think it's a tight call, obviously, for the assistant referee, particularly with Miller maybe in front of one or two of the players, the Adelaide United defenders. It would be really, I think, for Alex Smith, for Brisbane to try and get something out of this first half. We've had a couple of chances. That Fenty Jansen clear-cut chance. We really should put them on an even keel with Adelaide.
A little bit for Alex Smith to think about into the second half. Here's McNamara. Again, Adelaide forcing a way through. Centering ball is good. Taranto first to it, clipped away. She knows it as well. Good positioning.
They've had some really good delivery into the box. Another one from Hodgson. She's having a fantastic game, and Taranto knows that she should have got better contact on that ball. Almost just mistimed the jump and the header and didn't really get too much on it at all.
Streams Morgan. Disguised pass to Wirtz, who will have a go herself, and again it's another good save from Lincoln. Taranto still alive for Adelaide. If she could find the cross, find a free player. Back through Taranto as well, but Myers is first to it. Bit of a hopeful hit over the top. Malay well off her line, can collect comfortably. So inside the final 5 minutes of this first half. Just little moments. We could have more than just the one goal we have seen at either end, to be fair. Morgan, nice ball over the top. Possession fairly evenly contested across the course of this first half. Healy holds on to it. McNamara. Happy to walk the ball in. Does so well. Hodgson, who's been busy. Deflection kindly to Myers. Nice little jink, and she can release Janssen, who has space in front. Not much in the way of Brisbane options to look forward, and that won't be it.
Yeah, she was so isolated. Benty Janssen just got her arms out, asking where the support was. She had so much space in front of her to drive into. Ashley Miller was on the right-hand side, available, but there was just no one. Kira Myers, it just took her too long to get around. You've really got to get on your bike and get there as quickly as possible. There was so much space on this left-hand side for Janssen to potentially just slip that ball in.
Time ticking by towards the half-time mark. But still plenty of it for Brisbane to find an equaliser. Here's Beard. Down to Brown. We'll give and go through Myers. Former Melbourne City Kira Myers. Just 18 years old and a real talent. Janssen now. Her centering ball dangerously across the surface, but there's just no Brisbane options there to receive.
Yeah, you're spot on, Grace. Ashton Miller at that far post. Daisy Brown was almost too far across over towards Benty Janssen. There was 2 or 3 raw players. Kira Myers was trying to help out as well. As soon as she gets into that wide area, you have to commit to making a run and getting closer towards goal in the central areas. It was a dangerous ball that she played across. You know, someone coming in and actually making the effort to get into the 18-yard box, the 6-yard box.
So Morgan concedes the free kick, bringing Tish Woods to ground. So Brisbane will have a chance to hang one up. Plenty of bodies to aim for. Seidel, Woods. Seidel steps over it, Woods hangs it up into a dangerous area. Melee almost in 2 minds, but gratefully sees the ball nodded away. Alex Smith wants to keep things moving.
Keep things moving and keep things further forward as well.
Janssen down the line to Myers. Well, you could hear the shouts of back here from 4th official Jack Powers. Angie Beard didn't quite hear the 4th official on that occasion. Another offside flag.
Yeah, that's frustrating when you're not creating a huge amount of opportunities. You haven't spent a lot of time in the opposition half. 75 passes, the Raw have had 76 in the opposition's half to 110 by Adelaide. So you have to make them count. If you're not getting those opportunities, then you have to make sure that the quality is there.
So inside the final minute of this first half at Spencer Park, Hayashi comes through, flying to contest the header. Now Tolan. Beard with the throw. Hayashi helps on. Brown. Tonkin to beat. Has Hayashi for support. Well read by Tonkin. Taranto was dragged back. Does indeed get the free kick. 1 minute of stoppage time at the end of this first half. Adelaide, you'd think, would be happy to see that out into the break.
Yeah, I think they'd be pleased with the opportunities that they're creating. Entries into the Raw's final third, crosses into the box have been quality. They've had some good chances. Fiona Wirtz with that one-on-one. Fiona Wirtz had another shot, strike on goal, Erin Healy. So they're definitely putting the Raw defence under pressure.
Is fairly evenly matched across the two teams. Brown drops it to Miller, who does well almost. The ball spins away from her. Maybe one last little flash forward. No, denied. Seidel still with Morgan. Well, she's done well there, Mariana Seidel. And there's a half-time whistle. That'll do for the first 45 minutes, says Sophie Allen. It's been a first half largely dictated on the terms of the visiting team, Adelaide United. Plenty of chances. They haven't quite managed to make the most of them, but it was Emily Hodgson in the 11th minute who managed to steer home across from Erin Healy to give Adelaide United the lead. So half-time at Spencer Park. It's Brisbane Roar 0, Adelaide United 1. Let's dig right into the highlights, Ish, because there was plenty to enjoy about the first half, and I think we could have had a couple more goals than what we did.
Yeah, really entertaining first half. Daisy Brown showing how confident she is with that strike. This run by Erin Healy, love that. She's got a head up, little jink in and inside and out, and then a little cross into the box. Really been impressed with Emily Hodgson for this first half, Grace. And where she's made that run from a deep-lying defender with attack-minded straight into the centre of the goal and got herself on the score sheet.
Well, she's been busy across the first half, Hodgson, and has created another chance at the other end. This probably the best of the chances for Brisbane and Bente Jansen.
Bente Jansen, we know how quality she is. She took that touch in a really dangerous position. We thought she should have just tried to pass that into the goal. Then Fiona Wirtz at the other end, getting it on her left foot. Just didn't, it was like she was a bit indecisive. That's probably the best way to describe it. I had a little look up at Chloe Lincoln. And again, Daisy Brown, I don't mind. I love her confidence of whenever she gets an opportunity to shoot. This was an epic save by Chloe Lincoln. A great strike on the turn by Erin Healy. We know her quality, but an equally great save from Chloe Lincoln.
As we look back at these highlights, we really see there have been some very good chances and a very busy first 45 minutes.
Yeah, there's been some really quality football and attacking play. This strike as well, and another save by Chloe Lincoln. Fiona Wirtz, left foot. Thanks for coming. First time. I mean, really entertaining first half. I think the statistics, you know, those final third entries, definitely Adelaide United have had more, again, improved passing accuracy. I think we've seen that. Raw just need to start getting, when they get the ball further up the field, making sure that they've got plenty of support from their midfield players.
Well, there is plenty to look forward to in the second half. Don't go anywhere. The halftime show is just a moment away. Welcome back to Spencer Park, and it's the visiting team who hold on to a narrow lead against Brisbane Roar. Well, back in December, Tamika Yallop's hamstring injury thrust Momo Hayashi into the Brisbane Roar captaincy. A softly spoken Japanese midfielder has since risen to the challenge with the backing of coach Alex Smith, who plucked her out of the NPL and hasn't looked back.
I don't really think, I just shoot.
It goes to work, veering central. Hayashi loves a long shot. Hayashi! Momo spectacular!
It's amazing, but to be honest, I don't really think it's far. So if I see goal, I just shoot.
There is no distance beyond Momo Hayashi. She lined it up and drove it into the bottom corner. Nothing Heather Hinds could do about it.
Yeah, Momo's a she's a fantastic individual. She's a special person. Doesn't necessarily lead by saying much. Her English is still not 100%, but Momo's one of those that leads by example. Never stops running, cramps every game, but keeps going.
The pickle juice.
And is always the one on the front foot, trying to win the ball back. So
what an effort she's put in. And the home crowd are going to give her a hero's ovation.
She's someone who takes the burden of the captaincy pretty seriously. So for her, it's just about playing her normal game. And I think now she's had a few games as captain and she's finally comfortable. And you're going to see that hopefully come through in the rest of the season. And yeah, couldn't be happier for her. She's probably the nicest player in the entire league.
I absolutely love her here at Spencer Park.
I came to Australia in 2019, and before that, I had opportunity go to London for soccer, and then those experiences made me to play overseas. And then Australia is very close to Japan, and a direct flight and a nice beaches. That's why I came to Australia. Playing in A-League is always my dream, but after my ACL injuries, I was almost gave up. So I'm really appreciative to Alex to bring me into this opportunity. For me, Mix is still our captain, so I just looking after the role until she returns. And I know I'm not expected to talk a lot, but I'm trying to lead, how do I say? By the example on the field.
Oh, truly humble and absolutely lovable figure. What an impact she has made at the Roar. Well, let's have a look at how the lead came to be. Just the one goal from that first 45 minutes. It was from some very good individual work from Erin Healy to put in the hard yards, and on a platter, you'd have to say, for the hard-working Emily Hodgson. Just a little cutback. Hodgson getting herself in a really good position. That was the one goal we saw in the first half. Plenty of other opportunities, but as it stands, the difference maker, thanks to Hodgson, her second of the season. What felt like a long run-up to the Women's Asian Cup is suddenly on our doorstep. Just 7 more sleeps remain until kick-off. We can have a look at all the Matildas games and how you can get your tickets. Of course, the opening match against the Philippines over in Perth, the 1st of March. Do not miss out on those ones. They will be going like hot pockets. And this one too, Iran against Australia, their second game up at Gold Coast. You can scan the QR code on your screen for access to these tickets. You really don't want to miss out on the opportunity to see the Matildas back on home soil. We're only a week away. Excitement building, and safe to say, we are well and truly all fired up.
Cara Cooney cross, thinks about the long shot, and she finds it! only place to see every game of the AFC Women's Asian Cup is on Paramount Plus. Kicking off with Australia versus the Philippines, Sunday from 7 on Paramount Plus.
Yes, a very warm welcome back to Spencer Park. Half-time have Adelaide United in the lead. Brisbane Roar with some work to do in the second 45 minutes. They want to return to the winner's circle. They need to stay in touch with the top six. Brisbane on the same points as Melbourne Victory, but Victory rounding out the 6 on goal difference. Brisbane need all 3 points to remain in that top 6 discussion. Adelaide enjoying life at the moment. Goal scorer Emily Hodgson, the second of the season and 4th ever A-League goal she found in the first half. And she's had a busy 45 minutes of football in this round 18 fixture. Jansen Wirtz, 2 players who do know how to find the back of the net. They both had their chances in the first half and arguably should have done a little better. Theo Siunis, thumbs up. He's happy, ready to go. No changes for Adelaide. But things underway back at Spencer Park. Shadows lengthening over the field. And the long-range effort, wouldn't put it past her, from Momo Hayashi straight into the gloves of Ilona Mele to get things back underway.
Yeah, big second half. Adelaide with the better of the chances in that first half, so could continue to build. I think for Brisbane Roar, It's really about getting support in that final third. Once they do get into Adelaide's final third, just making sure that they've got enough players, they're getting themselves into decent wide positions, but having players in central areas where they can be dangerous and get opportunities to strike on goal is something that they probably just need to address for this second half.
Adelaide's defence weren't hugely tested in the first 45 minutes. A couple of half chances, early looks over the top, maybe now one for Adelaide. Nicely worked by Healy. Condon out on the far side, pushes it through again for Healy, who's covering some ground this afternoon. Back to Adriana Taranto, just poked away by Tish Woods. Referee points to the goal mouth. Goal kick it will be for Brisbane.
Yeah, to your point before, Grace, Erin Healy, wonderful mobility and just wants to go and find the ball, get in on the action. Always loves to get that ball at her feet, trying to face forward and really penetrate the opposition defence. She's been really good this game, along with Emily Hodgson. Been really impressed with her. She's been dangerous down that left-hand side, getting herself forward. Got her on the end of a cross from Erin Healy to put Adelaide in front.
Good industry from Wirtz, who's not happy with a bit of contact she was getting from the Brisbane defence.
Just Josie Studer there, a little push into the neck of Fiona Wirtz. She was asking the question of the referee. Too much in that though.
Studer, of course, picked up a yellow card in the first half. Has to be a little cautious in this second 45 minutes. Taranto helps on over the top. Wirtz up against, well, she gets a really good shot away against Josie Studer, and Wirtz can turn, shoot on sight. Has moments like that in her locker, absolutely.
Uses her body really well, and then just uses Studer just to spin back inside onto her left foot. Just couldn't pull her toe around it enough so it could curl into that top corner. But always dangerous, isn't she, Fiona Wirtz? Similar to Erin Healy, just very direct. See an opportunity on goal, like Momo Hayashi in her feature. Don't think, just shoot.
Healy gives away the free kick on that occasion, this time against Josie Studer.
Yeah, just a little... Well, Erin Healy thinks she got the ball there. She was behind her, kind of lunging in. May have been a bit of a tough call. Those two have had a pretty decent battle today. A bit of shirt pulling here and there. Getting into the physicality of it.
It's been a great matchup between Studer and Healy. A little frustrated from Ashlyn Miller. But the 24-year-old Erin Healy has been busy. He's the goal scorer with the throw-in. Pops over the top. Touches to herself, and now Wirtz. Again, that battle. Studer, Healy. Healy comes out on top, slips in Hodgson. Wirtz is central if she can find it. Again, it's the offside flag at this end.
Those quick transition moments from Adelaide, Erin Healy and Fiona Wirtz really getting on the front foot as soon as they win that ball back, trying to make those runs, directed in behind. And on that occasion, Emily Hodgson just mistiming her run, slightly offside.
Myers, nice touch from Brown. Beard in an advanced position. Myers again runs into a little bit of trouble, but does well. The offside flag up once again.
There's been a few occasions when the players could be looking across the line, just trying to always gain that advantage where you are outside, on the shoulder, out of the vision, out of the line of vision of the opposition, trying to time it perfectly to stay onside. But there hasn't been too much success of that for this game for both teams.
See those offsides. 5 the way of the home team, 2 for Adelaide. Adriana Taranto. Good use of body. No, too much, says the referee.
yeah, a little nudge in the back. I was going to go into bat there for Fiona Words. Thanks for the replay, everyone. A little nudge in the back of Seidel. Rightfully given away a free kick.
Nothing wrong with that in your day, Ish.
No, that's why I'm going to be a referee, Grace. Yeah, nothing is a free kick. Play on.
Nodded down by Woods. Brown's pass out to Myers, who's dealt with Cooley. Kira Myers up against Tolland. Pushes it past, hangs it up to the far post, long and over the top. Miller just glancing over her shoulder, has to retreat a little through Medwin. Hayashi. Nice ball slipped through. If Miller can make it, she works really hard to do exactly that. Tempting across the face of the goal. Referee says it's gone over the line.
She did really well, Miller. I thought she had managed to keep it in. It was a tight one. Maybe it just, as she struck it, went out and over the line. Assistant referee has a better angle of that. It was a lovely ball directed by Momo Hayashi. Just a bit too much weight on it, but a positive sign for the Raw.
What a delightful character Momo Hayashi is, as we saw in that halftime feature. Again, this challenge, Studer and Healy, they're going into it good, shoulder to shoulder. Tough play.
Studer asking the question of the referee that time, thinking that maybe Erin Healy, yeah, there was a little nudge in the back. She's got a fair point there, Josie Studer. Then they go shoulder to shoulder. Ball ends up going to Adelaide United for a throw-in.
Hayashi, Miller, they can work their way out of pressure. Nice touch from Brown. Good use of the body as well, Daisy Brown. And Studer just happy to hit the pressure valve relief. Maybe only for a moment, though, as Adelaide look to mount another attack. Adelaide really happy to slow things down, just to a walking pace and pick their moment. Just a game of cat and mouse, waiting for Brisbane to make the move.
Well, they've obviously done their homework and probably recognise that Brisbane aren't going to do a really high, energetic, high press. They just want to keep themselves in a mid-block.
A bit of a coming together of players here. And the head clash of McNamara up against Brown. Both players still left on the floor.
Both caught each other. You can see the reaction from Matilda McNamara as soon as contact was made.
Yeah, Brisbane 3.
So an opportunity for both teams just to get a quick drink in. Brisbane going to be the first team to turn to their changes. You can see just to the side there, Kaya Stevenson being ready. She started last week, back to the bench this week. Still warm conditions at Spencer Park, 26 degrees up in Brisbane. Both players, of course, undergoing necessary checks for those head knocks.
You see Benty Jansen with her gesturing there in that little huddle of the Brisbane Raw players. Trying to go on side to side, maybe look to switch the point of attack.
Another look at the goal from the first half. Came through the fancy footwork of Erin Healy. She's worked very hard tonight, Healy. And Emily Hodgson just needed to run onto it, get any kind of contact, and she did exactly that. Good to see Daisy Brown back to her feet. So Kaya Stevenson will be replacing Daisy Brown, her last involvement of the afternoon, and Kaya Stevenson, her 16th appearance of the season. And plenty of time to impact and find a response.
Yeah, so maybe we'll see Benty Jansen just push a little bit further forward for Kaya Stevenson to play in that number 10 role. Very creative player Loves to get on the ball, try and look for those little passes, those little 1-2 combinations around the edge of the box.
Need to look to get things moving. And a quick free kick over the top, dealt with pretty comfortably by Adelaide's defence. Adriana Taranto across to cover. Looking a little worse for wear. Here's the 19-year-old Daisy Brown. Adelaide throw. Get another a little further up the field.
See, there's no blood, no cut from that head knock to McNamara. Back on the field, Daisy Brown just having a break. She's did some positive things. You can see the confidence of her 19-year-old. Gets a side at goal, wants to shoot. She's got that mentality of it. Really promising player for the future for the Brisbane Roar.
Absolutely, another good afternoon by Brown today. Even if that final product wasn't there, his words wanting to add a second to Adelaide's tally. Now Sarah Morgan has McNamara square. McNamara looks to centre it back in, ricochets off Amy Medwin. Adelaide with another corner. Found the back of the net 4 times from corners this campaign. Condon, well, we know what she can produce with her set-piece delivery. The in-swinger off that delightful right boot. Set play incoming. Condon's delivery into a packed area, up and under. Falls still, a returning header off Taranto. We'll see Brisbane the way of a goal kick.
That was good delivery from Condon. We know she's got that quality.
Another change, this time Dylan Holmes will make her way on for just her 6th appearance of the season. Sarah Morgan will see the end of her afternoon. Dylan Holmes, of course, battled with injury earlier on in the piece, working back into full fitness. Adelaide through and through. Dylan Holmes, a 28-year-old, A-League appearance number 109. A little over half an hour to find her feet in Adelaide's midfield.
Yeah, since that head clash is just a little bit of stifling of momentum from both the teams. The tempo has slowed down. I think both trying to work their way back into this second half.
Here's Holmes, early touches. That one just escapes the sole of her foot. Beard can look forward for Brisbane. Tries to push past one, finds Woods. A loose ball. Picked up by Taranto, poked forward to Hodgson, back inside, this time a little narrow. Miller wants to move forward. Janssen's lost the ball in her touch, as has Matilda McNamara. Miller to Janssen. Still needs some support, Bente Janssen. Hayashi around to Medwin, but her pass too is just a little skinny. Miller, first time cross, blocked by Tonkin. Had to be. Holmes gives it away to Medwin. It's just a bit scrappy at the moment. Both teams struggling to hold on to possession neatly.
Yeah, it's definitely a turnover possession for both teams. Bente Janssen playing in a bit more of a forward position, but still wants to come and drop off. You can see Kai Stevenson then taking her position up a bit further forward. She you have this really nice opportunity to make a run in behind the opposition defence before. It'd be nice to see how those two combine in this second half, but this is a great position. Look between Emily Hodgson and Taranto, that big gap there, straight in there, in between the 6-yard box and the penalty spot. For me personally, I'm keeping that below waist height. Players running onto that, steaming towards the near post.
A great chance here for Brisbane. Seidel and Woods standing over the ball. Plenty of numbers forward. Two-person wall for Adelaide. It'll be the left boot of Mariana Seidel. Long lifted up over the top, aiming for Hayashi, but Healy's there.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's an option as well. I don't think I would have preferred Tish Woods playing that in for oncoming attackers. Long, high ball that hung in the air for quite some time, which obviously gives the players an opportunity to read the flight of the ball. Out for a corner.
Maybe a different trajectory for this one. Woods. Still long and high up and over, harmlessly out in the end. Hayashi's left tumbling and doesn't like a bit of attention she's gotten from the goalkeeper.
Yeah, Taranto was having a go at Momo Hayashi as she was on the ground. Yeah, they're still going at it. The referee stepping in here. There's a little bit, yeah, you can see that at the back post. Taranto just kind of pulling her down to the ground. We only caught that just as the ball went. There was a bit more contact with Erin Healy as well. Lots going on at the corner. There was definitely contact there. Taranto not happy with Hayashi going down theatrically.
Of course, Adriana Taranto, one of our more recently capped Matildas, mid last year against Panama, took to the field as Matilda's capped 239. Both her and sister Mel Taranto, since the move from Western United, found their feet in red.
Yeah, I think Alex Smith probably asking the question as well of the fourth official. Not happy, yeah, unbelievable, as he said. Quite a bit of frustration there. Saw it on the replay, there was definitely contact.
Brisbane desperate to find a way back into the game. Tonkin will help this one on. Falls to Healy, who just loses the ball underneath her feet, regains it. Now Taranto threads out to Tolland. Back through Melee. Well, after this, Brisbane, they're away to Wellington Phoenix, a difficult trip. So points at home feel very important. Adelaide, on the other hand, their next game, they're back at home. They welcome Perth Glory to Adelaide. So to hold on to 3 points on the road for Adelaide United would be a huge coup. They need a bit more security should they want to do that. Here's Condon. Inside to Healy again, just behind her, a little nudge. Contact from Wirtz. Brings Seidel to ground.
Well, they're just getting her body in front of Wirtz to win the ball. And just back to your point of those games coming up next. Yes, on one hand, it's good you go into it, an international away game in New Zealand, refreshed. However, Wellington, really tough conditions. It's always windy there. It's very exposed, that pitch. And also, they're playing some good football under Bev Priestman. They're a difficult team to beat. But what you do have the benefit of is a couple of weeks of a really solid training block where you can just work on your tactics for that game.
Of course, a couple of weeks after tonight's game in the Ninja A-League, that we see a little break from the competition, the Women's Asian Cup, just 7 days away. The Ninja A-League recommencing on the 13th of March. So a break for all teams involved. Stevenson thought she'd stolen a trick, brought Mel Taranto to ground.
Well, she caught her, but I thought she won the ball there. And then their legs got caught up. Probably neither here nor there, I think.
There it is, AFC Women's Asian Cup. This time next week will be half an hour from kickoff for the Matildas' first game against the Filipinas. Of course, Angie Beard, now a very important part of that Philippines women's national team under Mark Tocaso. Hayashi sneaks past one, can't find a way past Dylan Holmes. Nice play this from Adelaide. Switches the point of attack. Adriana Taranto stretching the field. Has Beard to beat. Tries for the cross, blocked. Adelaide corner.
It was a nice switch of play out to Taranto on that right-hand side. She always loves to try and stand up the defenders, try and go past them, try and make something happen, jinking in and out. Angie Beard did well, just stayed on her toes. Let's see what they do. There's lots of players, lots of raw players in and around that 6-yard box. Here come the Adelaide United players strolling in. Try and work out what the secret signs are for the set plays from the corners. We saw the little pyramid on top of the head previously from Condon.
Holmes on corner taking duties. 2 hands in the air. This one a little flatter, harder delivery. Looks good as well. Still in a dangerous area and just scuffed away. Taranto now wants to put it back in the mixer. It's a good defensive header from Studer. Stevenson can release Janssen, who can run into space. Has Hodgson's to beat. Look for the long-range effort. Well, ambitious.
She had plenty of space in front of her. Obviously, we've seen Malay play a little bit further up the pitch. But even Janssen striding on with the ball then. You know, it was from a defensive opportunity in a corner, but Brisbane Roar just need to try and get up a bit quicker and try and support her. She's been isolated at times when she's got that ball further forward.
Clearance brought down by Woods and returned in kind. The head tennis going on. And McNamara straight into the head of her teammate Hodgson. The Eunice looking a little nonplussed at the minute. Hayashi, Medwin pushes it past McNamara. Change of pace so far. We've seen Kaya Stevenson, Dylan Holmes come on for their teams respectively. Healing. Woods to beat. Side to Wirtz, runs into Hayashi, who's worked hard to get back into a good defensive position. That's nice from Janssen. Square to Stevenson. Neatly done by Kaya Stevenson. Has a little bit of support outside through Myers. Finds the pass. Nice work this from Brisbane. Just steered back and she's worked really well there, Adriana Taranto, to tidy up for Adelaide. Looking for the free kick, doesn't get it. Woods can glance forward. Cross has to be good. Or just can't quite rapid boot around to find the on-rushing Brisbane Roar players.
You see Tish Woods, there was good pressure as well on the ball. Getting into that position, trying to wrap her foot around it, trying to drag it back across goal. Just couldn't get it. The ball was running away from her a little bit too quickly.
Taranto with space. Healy comes to collect. Holmes pushes it forward to Hodgson. Nicely done. Medwin to beat. Blocked well by Amy Medwin. That's good work from the defender. Wirtz comes across to help out. Sophie Allen says a little too much contact.
Yeah, I thought that was really good from Fiona Wirtz. I think maybe there was contact a little bit before that, maybe half a second before. Looked like it was kind of shoulder to shoulder to me. Great recovery defending from Fiona Wirtz. Still working hard from that front line, trying to keep the pressure on in this final third.
Hayashi Centering pass, can't find Stevenson, can find Taranto. Condon. Nice idea forward, Wirtz not quite on the same page. Brisbane want to play quickly. 20 minutes remain in this second half. 20 minutes for Brisbane to find a leveller. 20 minutes for Adelaide to add a bit of insurance. Taranto again. Healy scraps for possession. Beard happy to go all the way back through Lincoln. Wonder if those two have exchanged notes about the upcoming Women's Asian Cup. That pass left a little short. McNamara is across and brought heavily to ground. Too much contact from Ashlyn Miller. She's come off a little worse for wear.
Yeah, not a great pass from Medwin into Ashlyn Miller. It was the wrong side, got her into a battle. Matilda McNamara on the front foot. Knew that she could get herself, got a touch just in time to draw the foul from Miller. Really important from Medwin. When you're playing the ball out there, you have to play it away from the defender. You have to play it on the right side of your teammate. Now Adelaide in a good position. Dylan Holmes, I think, a nice, flat, strong delivery here. Usually looking to aim. I mean, look at Fiona Wirtz just hanging around in that little gap there as well.
Chloe Lincoln's just drawn attention to that very fact. Just the one player standing over the free kick in Ashlyn Miller. Dylan Holmes to take. A really good delivery into a dangerous area here is needed for Adelaide. Holmes into a centering position, and across comes Beard just to scoop it away in the end. Adelaide corner.
Yeah, nice flat trajectory on Dylan Holmes' delivery. We saw it from the corner previously. I think that one was another good delivery, trying to change the angle and get that ball back across goal. Fiona Wirtz was kind of loitering at the far post.
Matilda McNamara seeing the light side. There again is the signal from Condon. Condon's corner produced. Nice shape on the in-swinger. Plays up and under. Lincoln to ground. Well, the goal line clearance from Angie Beard in the end, but it didn't matter.
Yeah, it was good delivery right in. Lots of bodies around Chloe Lincoln. Inevitably, there is some contact between Taranto and Lincoln. That's always going to be a free kick to the goalkeeper. I think we know what the pyramid sign is now, Grace. Lots of players around the goalkeeper. Get it right into that danger area where there's lots of bodies and difficult to read.
That's a nice touch from Wirtz. Clipped into the middle. Really beautiful shape on the cross. Oh, it's a pinpoint header to find Erin Healy. Chloe Lincoln was ready.
Look at Wirtz. Lovely vision there. Just picked out Erin Healy perfectly. Probably just hard to get enough pace and weight on that header for Erin Healy. She was trying to just direct it down towards the corner of the goal away from Chloe Lincoln. But a lovely delivery from Fiona Wirtz.
Just the vision. You saw the look up, you saw the glancing eyes to pick out Healy. A couple of changes coming through for Adelaide. Condon, Adriana Taranto, the first of those to make way, replaced by Chelsea Dorber. She's worked hard tonight, Taranto. And it's a very warm return to Lara Gooch in what will be just her third appearance of the season, a long layoff with an ankle injury. Exciting 21-year-old looking to make her mark with a little over 15 minutes to play. Woods also departing, replaced by Zara Kruger, who last appeared on the 31st of December, so an even longer layout for Kruger. And likewise, a very welcome return. So changes at either end. 15 minutes of regulation time to play. Do we start to see Brisbane throw a little bit more into this final quarter? Risk versus reward. I mentioned in the first half that their final 15 minutes of each half, they tend to concede the most number of goals. Stevenson. Square to Kruger with some early touches. Beard wide to Myers. Janssen. Back through Myers, tries to skip past one, can't quite find a way past Toland. Janssen gets the eyes up, flashes a ball in. And Ashlyn Miller, well, she wasn't far away.
Yeah, it was good reading in the play by Ashlyn Miller. Just having a look at how Brisbane is set up at the moment. Benty Janssen, obviously a quality player. We're thinking that she's playing a bit more further forward since Daisy Brown came off. So when you see her in those areas, you know she's got good delivery. But then who's the player that's going to be the target for her? Kai Stevenson is more of a number 10, wants to check off, get that ball. So just really important to try and keep Janssen in that central focal point as much as possible, because there is a big gap when she's drawn out wide and gets the ball.
She's just starting floating here to that central position. But you're right, in the absence of a Daisy Brown, the target hasn't quite existed. Gooch, well, she's fast. Some early touches for Lara Gooch if she can finish. Top save from Lincoln, second time. Well, that's some desperate defending from Brisbane Roar. It should be Adelaide 2 to the good.
Well, it could have been an amazing welcome back from Lara Gooch. She opened up her body, got herself into a good position, and then tried to go back across Chloe Lincoln. To Chloe Lincoln's credit, she stood her ground. She waited for Gooch, held there, and just waited for her to have that shot. Thought that she nearly toe-poked it in, but Angie Beard with a desperation save on the line.
Well, it's building. Certainly feels like there's another goal somewhere in this final 13 minutes of play. Hung up to the far post, nodded back into a dangerous area, and it has found its way through. Well, it was building for Adelaide. That had chance and chance again, but there it is. It's a goal, the insurance they needed, and it's nodded in at the far post.
Well, another great delivery from Dylan Holmes. She did the pyramid, then she did the two hands, so we've gone to the far post. Condon gets up there. I mean, Chloe Lincoln is questioning whether there was a little bit of interference, but I don't think there was. There was no contact. Every player is well within their rights to stand in front of another player as that ball's coming back in. No one on the far post for Brisbane, and Emily Condon nods it in at the back post.
Well, we won't take that one away from Ella
Sorry,
Tonkin.
Ella Tonkin, sorry. Sorry, Ella Tonkin. I was getting far too excited. My bad.
Ella Tonkin, second of the season, and what a crucial one it'll be. Relatively unmarked at the far post. Lovely delivery, you're right, ish off the boot of Dylan Holmes.
Yeah, and apologies again. Condon's gone off. She's on the bench now. She's scored a miraculous goal at the far post. Apologies for that. Lots of bodies around, but wonderful finish from Tonkin. And a delivery again from Dylan Holmes. She's come on. She's done a couple of different deliveries, nice and flat. That one all the way to the far post and then snuck in. We see it a lot with teams where they might have someone defending on the near post at a corner and they'll leave that far post free for the goalkeeper to get across to. But great finish from Tonkin.
Brisbane absorbing a lot of pressure, but could not absorb that one. Ball back with Lincoln. Medwin. Well, Brisbane, they need to move, and they need to move quickly. Stevenson finds a little bit of space, pushes it forward to Myers, who's been full of running for the afternoon. Toland for company. Drags it one way, pushes it the other. Well defended by Zoe Toland in the end. So inside 10 minutes Adelaide holding on to this 2-goal lead. We've got 4 clean sheets for the season, Adelaide United. They'd love to add another to that collection. The Brisbane fans trying to get behind their team. Add a little boost in the final 10 minutes. This time it's Myers on corner taking duty. Little short, Tolland first to it. Medwin, they'll get another chance here, Myers. This time on the left boot. Little further afield, Melee comfortably up.
Yeah, really confident take from Alona Melee. So you just like a little pop up in the air, and then you can see her just saying, let's just calm down, everyone. Let's try and control the tempo.
It's great composure from the 17-year-old goalkeeper.
Yeah, that is incredible. I mean, reading the flight of the ball there, nice and calm. Knew it was coming straight into her hands. We've seen her play quite high up the pitch, starting the attack for Adelaide United as another outfield player. It's so important in the game today that the goalkeepers are part of and their distribution is good enough to be almost like an outfield player.
That pass cut off by Hayashi. Brisbane just struggling to secure possession. There's a couple more changes being readied in the wings for Adelaide. Colin Murray, Paige Zoyce in discussions. Here's Taranto. Runs out of real estate in the end. Adelaide throw. Tolland down the line. Hooked back by Beard. So the result shouldn't remain for Adelaide. It's going to do them some serious favours when it comes to the composition of the ladder. Came into tonight's game in 4th on 23 points. All 3 points tonight would push them into 3rd behind City and Canberra. Leapfrogging the Wellington Phoenix. Nice ball through. Gooch, who could have had one. Denied by Chloe Lincoln, brought heavily to ground. Medwin streaming forward. Hayashi helps it on. Medwin has continued her run. Matilda McNamara working hard to try and close the space. Does well there, McNamara.
Just a long ball in from Momo Hayashi, looking for something different for the Brisbane Roar to try turning around the Adelaide United defence, trying to lock them in to their defensive third. And I mean, that's a really frustrating offside, particularly you've got, what, 5 or 6 minutes left in the game. You're 2 goals down, and that's just a lapse of concentration from Medwin.
So Fiona Wirtz and Mel Taranto have seen their last minutes of the game. It'll be Holly Murray for her 8th appearance of the season, and Paige Zoyce for appearance number 12. All smiles from Taranto. Happy to welcome Zoyce onto the field for the last 5 or so minutes, whatever remains of stoppage. So Theosiunas has emptied his bench. Big hugs for Mel Taranto. Alex Smith. Less in the way of changes made. Inside the final 5 minutes. Cuts a bit of a frustrated figure.
Yeah, I'm sure there's been many moments of frustration for Alex Smith. This will be the 3rd loss in a row, conceding multiple goals.
Another couple of changes coming through, this time for Brisbane Roar. And it will be Kira Myers making way for Amali Kinsella. The 19-year-old Kinsella. This is appearance number 7. And the previous 6 have equated to just 39 minutes of football. Healy looking to push it past Studer. This has been a really entertaining battle across the evening. Dorber centering ball, knocked away. Janssen slowed down by McNamara. Been a frustrated evening for Bente Janssen. Hasn't quite been able to get into the game in the way she would have liked.
And I think that just sums it up. The fact that she's taken that free kick, hasn't had a lot of the ball. And when she has had the ball, it's been, you know, in areas there hasn't been anyone further forward where she can distribute it to. She's a creative player.
Brisbane, they need to move, and they need to move quickly. Stevenson. Nice footwork. She'll have a go herself, Kaya Stevenson. Well, she's perfectly capable. And Brisbane, they need an answer to the question Adelaide have been asking.
Yeah, lovely bit of skill here from Kaya Stevenson. She just had a little check on her shoulder on the left-hand side. She was in a good position outside the 18-yard box. Again, just wasn't able to kind of wrap her toe around it. And absolutely no problem for Alona Mele in the Adelaide United goal. She hasn't really been tested, has she? There's been shots, not that many on target for the Roar, whereas Adelaide United created a lot of good chances in that first half.
No doubt Chloe Lincoln, the far busier of the 2 goalkeepers. 6 saves, actually, for the evening. Just the 1 for Alona Mele. Here's Janssen. Free kick. Not a bad area as Holly Murray is brought to ground.
Heavy challenge, just get her foot stood on. Studs on the top of the foot is never comfortable. There's not much padding. She's taken her time getting up. Just soak up a few more seconds in the last few moments of this game.
Formerly of Canberra United, Holly Murray. And Tonkin happy to send that skyward. Dorber down the line to Gooch. And Janssen has returned from a long way from an offside position. Difficult night for the Dutch player. Seidel looks to take matters into her own hands. Brisbane just struggling to find a way out of Adelaide's press. Studer having to do a bit of tidy up. Has Lincoln. Beard. Line through Seidel, and that pass is read a little too easily. Stevenson now has a bit of space. Here's a moment just starting to open up for Brisbane. Streaming through a couple of Brisbane players centrally, but the pass can only find Matilda McNamara, who awkwardly falls to ground. In the end, Adelaide do clear.
It was good defending by Matilda McNamara. She got herself in a really strong position just on that 6-yard box at the near post. Kaya Stevenson just trying to roll the ball in. Janssen was in the middle there. Miller was at the far post.
So 90 minutes have ticked over. Waiting on confirmation of that stoppage time. Imagine a couple of minutes to play. Time, certainly the enemy of Brisbane Roar. Sends in to Studer. Free kick in the end does go the way of Brisbane. 4 minutes of stoppage time confirmed. Miller's done well to slow that pass down. One-track football at the moment for Brisbane. They're just not finding the pass. Zoyce. Hodgson. McNamara, a pass intercepted by Hayashi. Inside to Stevenson, has a little bit of space, goes herself. Melee, well, looked a little concerned. And the strike definitely dropped.
Well, this is the best opportunity, I think, for the Raw to score. We've seen Kaya Stevenson, that 18-yard box, outside the 18-yard box. If she's got a little bit of space, she wants to have a crack. No success yet. Just have to think, what more could Brisbane Raw be doing than relying on Kaya Stevenson from having those shots from outside the 18-yard box? They're low percentage. We know she's a good player and she can have those shots, but she really hasn't troubled Melee in the United goal.
She's had a few looks, Kaya Stevenson, since coming on. But it hasn't quite been the impact that Alex Smith would have liked tonight across his side's performance. Seidel. Inside the last couple of minutes of stoppage time, you hear the shouts of no cross. And this will come as a relief to Theosi Eunice. Healy releases Dorber. Just slows things down, stops and props, and Gooch will chase the pass. Looks for the back heel. Miller has dropped deep to become involved, and have a look at that. His shots on target.
I think that sums it up, Grace. I really do. I think Brisbane just haven't really caused Adelaide too many problems. They haven't really Melee hasn't been tested that much. And credit to Adelaide United, I think they've played really well, created some really solid chances. Probably should be a couple more goals up. Lara Gooch with a one-on-one with the keeper.
Well, she'll have a go. Long-range effort. It won't go down as a shot on target, but across the course of the 90+, 1 shot on target for Brisbane, 9 for Adelaide United. Of those 9, 2 found the back of the net. In an Adelaide team that is continuing in a good run of form. They came in this one off the break, off the bye. And there's a happy Theosi Eunice, says it all really. 3 points on the road on a warm afternoon at Spencer Park. And maybe looking to add another one to it. Dylan Holmes strikes. Well, she's hit that nicely. Lincoln maybe had the near post covered.
Lovely strike from Dylan Holmes. She's been really impressive since she's come on. And I think, again, just credit to Adelaide United, the depth of players that have come off the bench. They've brought fresh energy. They've made it difficult for Brisbane Raw. Brisbane Raw only having a couple of changes. And when you're able to actually just empty your bench and it's almost like for like with performance, then you know you're in a good spot as a squad.
The stoppage time has all but expired. Discretion in the hands of the referee, Sophie Allen. And there it is. The whistle goes. Full time at Spencer Park. Adelaide United celebrate accordingly. A game largely played in their hands at their tempo. And some good sportsmanship shown at the end between the coaches. There's Emily Hodgson, who got things underway back in the 11th minute. A goal and a half for the visiting team. Tonkin rising above the rest in the 79th to seal the deal for the visiting team. Adelaide United pick up exactly where they left off. 3 consecutive wins, 5 in their last 6 games. So full time at Spencer Park. It's Brisbane Raw 0, Adelaide United 2. Well, Adelaide can be very pleased with their performance, I think, tonight, Ish.
Yeah, absolutely, Grace. I think over the course of the season as well, we've seen incremental improvements with Adelaide. They've really got good combinations. They've got really great attacking players. Erin Healy's super impressive. Fiona Wirtz is always dangerous. We know what she can bring to the table. I think you add the Taranto twins in there as well, a pickup from the demise of Western United, which is a real shame, but they've added more value to this squad as well. And again, I really think depth off the bench. You've got the Paige Zoyce, Chelsea Dorber, all experienced, Dylan Holmes, experienced players, and to be able to utilise them game after game. Successful teams need a good, solid squad.
Well, let's get stuck into the highlights, because it was a game that, while there were chances, and chances galore, it was largely played on Adelaide United's terms, and someone at the centre of that was Erin Healy.
Quality from Erin Healy, like nice and positive. Little jink here, left, right, Studer wrong-footed, and then Emily Hodgson as that left attacking